Alright, so the first game I ever played was this old, I don't even remember, I think it was Flash, but it was a Guerrilla's 2000 game. You just like drove around, you collected nothing, you just drove. It was like really dead now that I think about it, but I played it a whole lot when I was like 3 to 4, like so much to the point where I remember it now. And I feel like that experience really hooked me into wanting to play more games, because I got into Halo, like Halo CE, a few years after that, Banjo-Kazooie, Little Big Planet, Ratchet & Clank. I played a bunch of different shit, and I kind of realized that I wasn't going to stop playing games. It sort of spiraled into, I guess you could say, like a hobby or a passion, I guess. And I realized that just like a movie, that you can convey so many different emotions and so many different themes in a game and have them, you know, really hit. I mean, look at Red Dead Redemption 2, Final Fantasy 7, Borderlands 3. Nah, I'm kidding, that story sucked. But I think if done correctly, a game can seriously convey like real emotions to a player in a real way. And there's a game I played sometime last year that I think has done it in such a unique way that I think it's you know, worth talking about. And also like spoilers, duh. Yeah, milk outside a bag of milk outside a bag of milk is a pretty weird name. I don't think anybody's disagreeing with me, but this game does a really good job at tackling things like mental illness and self-identity without, you know, glorifying it. The game was written by Nikita Krukov in 2000 and when the fuck was it written? Yeah, the game came out 16th of December 2021. The protagonist is this girl with red eyes, brown hair, and really pale skin. Her name is unknown, so for the sake of the video, I'm just gonna call her the girl. Her main fit is a dark blue shirt with this like circle red cross on it. The community have summed up what would be the status of her current mental state, and people have concluded to the fact that she's got schizophrenia, a personality disorder, possibly autism, and possibly OCD, which sounds about as fun as passing a kidney stone. Not much is known about her early life. She did grow up with her mother and father, although she didn't have the best connection with them. She did attend a school, although it's speculated to be a psychiatric hospital because she notes that the school has beds. Keep in mind that this could just be a boarding school, although it is speculated to be a psych ward. Alright, so this game is a visual novel, and like I said, it can get pretty dark and grim. The game starts off by quickly recapping everything that happened in the first game, because this is actually the second game in the series. So basically, the girl goes to go buy milk from a store and seems to suffer from what can be seen as a traumatic episode or some kind of state of psychosis. She does end up buying the milk, but only to come home to find her terrifying looking mother, who proceeds to inject her in the arm with what looks like a finger. It is theorized that it is actually an EpiPen and it's just a delusion, and that the girl is actually allergic to milk. The genius in writing in a way like this is that it can be interpreted in so many different ways. For example, the mother could be straight up abusing the girl right now, or the girl is hallucinating and the mother is simply trying to save her from a possibly fatal allergic reaction. Leaving decisions like this up to the player is a really good way of immersing them into the game, and also a really good depiction of what someone with an actual mental illness could be experiencing in a moment like this. I mean, people with similar mental illnesses have commented on the fact that this character is so relatable to them, and somebody without these issues can see through the eyes of someone who does have them. This both widens the audience of people who might play this game, but also simultaneously teaches people without mental illness that people do seriously suffer with these issues every single day. After the encounter with her mother, the girl goes back to her room to take a variety of medication that she usually does on a daily basis. There are 7 cases of pills laid out over a sink, and instead of taking the medication, the girl instead decides to come up with a reason why not to take each one. This could be a sign of anxiety about how these pills might make the girl feel, as she eventually decides not to take these pills, but instead come up with an imaginary pill that seemingly fixes each issue that she sees with her own body. So you play as the pill, talking to the girl about her various life experiences, like seeing her father jump out a window only to land to his own death, or being bullied by an ex-friend after the girl opens up to them about her various mental struggles. It's referenced that the father abused the girl, dragging her outside of school and forcing her to drink milk, and if the girl is allergic to milk, the father is trying to kill the girl via an allergic reaction. It's also referenced that he may have tried to murder the girl by strangulation. Yeah, pretty dark stuff. Directly confronting issues like abuse and this game manages to do it without over-dramatizing anything or glorifying it, which keeps everything down to earth, making the girl a much more relatable and believable character. The girl seems to have a pretty heavy amount of social anxiety, which could have originated or evolved due to her opening up about her vulnerabilities to someone that she thought was her friend, only for that person to turn around and weaponize these points towards her, proceeding to harass and violate the girl. This scenario trajects to one of the endings of the game, where the girl falls asleep only to have a nightmare where she's struggling with the battle of her low self-esteem, as obviously being brutalized for some of your biggest insecurities would do a number to one's confidence. There are multiple endings that tie to this conclusion, although I do think there is one that does it in the most accurate way. The ending's called Everything is Fine, and it starts off with the girl getting ready for her first day of school. As she's looking in front of a mirror, she reassures herself that it's perfectly fine to look different, although the mirror's reflection proceeds to show distorted and deformed visions of the girl. And when she finally seems happy with the way she feels, the reflection shows nothing but a blank face staring back at her. This scene could be read with her not feeling comfortable with her own identity, which may be due to the harassment she endured for telling people about her mental struggles. This same theme could be visualized in the ending Is Anyone There?, where while the girl is in a nightmare, she's in a room where the walls keep expanding out, and there's a door on one of these walls where she can seemingly hear another person on the other side. As she makes her way towards the door, the floor seems to fall down on her and she ends up being in a large grass plain with nothing but the moon shining down on her. Everything is seemingly empty and lonely until a bunch of dark silhouette figures start approaching the girl. The visual themes in this nightmare could be interpreted as many different things. For example, the expanding walls in the empty room could be a visual representation of the fact that the girl feels trapped and overwhelmed. This might be because her vulnerabilities are exposed and she has a lack of control of what people think and say about her. And her falling through the floor only to end up in this large empty plane could represent the fact that she feels isolated or alone, or even vulnerable, as the moonlight is the only thing striking directly down on her, until the inevitable presence of these black silhouette figures go up to the girl, where she seemingly snaps out of this nightmare. I think the best way to wrap this video up is people usually look at video games like a way to chill out with the boys or just play after a long day at work. But I do think there is another side of it. Playing this game really helped me understand and empathize with people who do have a mental illness or some kind of mental disorder, because in some cases I feel like it can really be a different world to someone else who is suffering. And even in some more extreme cases, somebody feeling like they don't belong or that they're not understood could lead them taking the pain out on themselves. So I do think it is really important that people are aware of these things, and I think using the video game medium is a really good way of getting that point across. If you haven't already, I would highly recommend playing games that do discuss topics like this. And if you or anyone you know is struggling, there are lifelines you can call that are completely anonymous and obviously free as well. If you made it all the way through, thank you. I did spend a lot of time and effort on this video, and I just wanted to make sure that I did this subject justice. Before I end the video, I just want to say make sure that you keep your body and your mind healthy, and have a good day or night wherever you are. Yeah, that's it. See ya.